Worry lines can run deep. With increasing commodity prices, higher price volatility, and rising input costs, America's farmers rely on crop insurance to protect their crops and livestock. Crop insurance, providing peace of mind now and for the next generation of agriculture.
Congressman Ribble, welcome.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Thanks.
Why did you decide to run for Congress? What entered in that decision?
Yeah, I think initially it came as a result of a challenge by my oldest son, Clint. He lives in Nashville, Tennessee. I've got 2 grandchildren. And back in 2008, after the global economic crisis, the election of President Obama in a Democratic House and Senate, I was concerned. I was complaining to him, and he finally just said, "Hey, Dad, you just got to stop. You always told me that if I didn't like my circumstance in life, I should go change it. So I'm telling you, hey, if you don't like your circumstance in life, go change it. Otherwise, you'll come back here a year from now and nothing will change, and we'll have this exact same discussion."
This was your first run for elective office?
I've never held any office at all, so this is brand new for me. I own my own commercial roofing company.
What did the voters of your district tell you to do when you got here?
They told me to balance the federal budget. The biggest issue that they're worried about is spending. They feel intrinsically inside that something's not right with how the government's spending money. They know that when they go home, they have to balance their checkbook. They feel the federal government should be required to balance its checkbook. That's the #1 thing I heard.
And what progress to date do you think this Congress has made toward that end?
Well, the House Representatives have made some progress, but it's been stopped at the Senate level, and I think we have to understand we've got a bicameral system of government. We have a House and a Senate. We have to get agreement between the two. And we don't really have agreement yet with the Senate, but the House passed a budget plan this year that reduces the deficit by, not deficit, but deficit spending by about $6 trillion over the President's plan. It gets the country on a path towards sustainability, but yet recognizes that it takes time to get out of debt. It took time to get in, it'll take time to get out.
You indicated that you were in the roofing business prior to getting into this business.
Yes.
Tell us some more about your background.
Well, I originally after high school, and I grew up in Appleton, Wisconsin. After high school, I went to divinity school to go into the ministry. My father was a chaplain for the Winnebago County Sheriff's Department. I now have 3 of my 5 older brothers are in the ministry and 1 son who's a pastor. So I was going to go into the ministry, but my father also had this small roofing company that he was running that helped pay the bills at home. And he asked if I would be interested in taking it over, and I did that in 1977. Then 1981, my father retired. I bought the company along with one of my brothers, and from there we grew it and ended up being a fairly successful roofing business.
Were your experiences as a small businessman, did they color your view of government, and was that, in fact, one reason that led you to seek the position you have now?
Absolutely. I mean, anybody who's run a business, who've had employees, you recognize how much intrusion the government has into your business. You see it every single day. There are just thousands of rules and regulations that have to be followed when you run your own business. I spent an inordinate amount of time trying to meet the obligations that the federal government and state government and local government had placed on us. And certainly there was a frustration and cynicism about government. And so I wanted to contribute to fixing that problem.
You're on the Agriculture Committee. Talk about the importance of being on that committee to your district.
Oh, it's essential to my district. Agriculture is more than a $26 billion industry in northeast Wisconsin. Obviously, we have a very large footprint in dairy, but we also have one of the most robust national forests. We have a huge paper-making industry. 50% of the world's production of cranberries comes from Wisconsin. I mean, this is a big deal. And when I came here, I asked the Speaker of the House if he would be gracious enough to let me serve on the Agricultural Committee, because I felt that it fit the district really well. And you know, when you run for Congress, you want to repurpose your technical skill to use that. So I wanted to be on budget. And then you want to serve on committees that help your district and will impact your district. So I asked for agriculture and transportation and infrastructure, and those are my 3 committees.
Away from the office,
yeah.
What do you like to do? What do you do to get away from it all?
Well, I'm a bit of a car guy, so I've got a sports car. And I like to drive maybe a little faster than I should. But I also, I'm an avid table tennis player. I like to do that. I like to water ski. And you know what, more than anything, I like to spend time with my family. I love my grandkids, and any moment I can break away and be free to spend time with my kids and my grandchildren, I try to do it.
So you would get into a spirited game of ping pong?
Well, I certainly would, and both of my sons who are in their 30s are pretty good at it, and they're both pretty good players in golf as well. We love to play golf together, and so we like to compete against each other, but also with each other. It's fun.
Wisconsin 8th District Congressman Reid Ribble. Representative, thank you so much for the time.
Stuart, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.